there, and welcome back to Tailor Tales. We're here at Caine's route, heading into chapter 17. Let's see what this is about. Oh right, the stargazing. We're standing outside the cabin. It's almost midnight at this point. Caine's got his camera with him as well as a small tripod. He definitely came prepared. Sarah and Kevin are staying behind, opting to go to bed early. Separately. I look up at the sky because there's still some light pollution from the nearby city, the stars aren't as bright. We need to go to a deserted part of the beach. At least the sky is clear, I muse out loud. Caine looks a little excited. Yeah, I'm hoping we'll be able to see it clearly with the naked eye. Let's find a good spot. I take out my phone and look for the best spot to view the stars and find one that's pretty close to us, about a half-hour walk. That's reasonable. You ready? I ask. Caine throws his tripod over his shoulder. Damn right I am. Caine starts walking away from the cabin without waiting for me. I quickly run after him. Right before arriving at the beach, Caine stops and turns to look at me. Close your eyes, he says. Huh? Why? There's this lopsided grin on his face, so boyish and full of charm. Because it'll look even better. Well, I can't walk what I can't see, I argue. Caine throws his camera around his neck, freeing up one hand. He reaches for my own and grabs it. I'm thankful it's dark because that threw me for such a loop it made my heart start to race. Caine's hand feels warm and soft. It's making me a little nervous. You're really going to guide me, I ask. Why? You don't trust me? For some reason, this question stumps me for a few seconds. Do I trust Caine? I mean, sure, when I first met him, I was abrasive and on guard around him. I was worried he was going to steal or get me into trouble. There's no point in denying that I didn't trust him at first. But now that I've gotten to know him, seen all these different sides of him, I guess part of me has started to see him in a new light. That's why I close my eyes for him. Alright, but you better not ruin that trust, I warn him. There will be hell to pay if you make me walk into a tree. Caine sniggers at the thought. I mean, I could, he trails off. Hey! Come on, give me a little credit here. I'm not a douchebag. Caine then tugs on my hand, trying to get me to walk forward. A little hesitant, I take my first step forward. It's a little mysterious, unable to see anything, and simply focusing on Caine's hand as he pulls me towards the beach. My footsteps are slow and unsteady, sinking to the sand, sometimes stepping on a seashell. The ocean waves are getting louder. Suddenly, every sense of mine is heightened. Even Caine's hand feels more intensive. I kind of really like it. Caine slows down his pace, and I match it until we both come to a halt. Okay, this seems like a good spot. Caine finally releases my hand. So, can I open them? I ask, a little impatient. In a second, let me set down my tripod and camera. I hear him scuffling in the background as I patiently wait for him to set up his equipment. Then I feel Caine wrap his hand around my wrist. He's tugging on it. Sit down. I lower myself down into the sand, hearing Caine sit down as well. Now, can I open them? I ask. Again, go right ahead. Finally, open my eyes. Wow! It's so fucking pretty! Bro, can you imagine seeing this IRL? Oh my god, I wish. A gorgeous view greets my eyes. The sky is littered with stars. I've never seen that many before in my life. But the most breathtaking part of it all, the Milky Way, a patch of glowing dust stretching across the heavens, twinkling ever so slightly. I've never seen the Milky Way with my own eyes before, but now that I have, it's so mesmerizing I can't tear my eyes away from it. The beach is deserted. We're the only ones here at the moment. Wow, I breathe out slowly. It's amazing. I've never seen anything so gorgeous before. From the corner of my eye, I see Caine slightly turn his head towards me. Yeah, pretty. My heart flips inside my chest. But you're not even looking at the sky? Hell yeah. I point out. Flustered, Caine quickly turns away from me. Shut up! Being a little bold, I press the issue. Are you calling me pretty or the stars? Obviously the stars, he exclaims. I say, unable to hide my disappointment. He didn't have to deny it so rigorously. That feels like such a blow to my ego. You too, Caine mumbles under his breath. And just like that, my heart is oiled up again, running even faster. Caine gets up from his spot and starts messing around with his camera. I'm gonna take some pictures now. Wrap my arms around my legs, staring up at the beautiful starry sky. It really makes one feel insignificant, thinking about the fact that the Earth is just a little speck in the universe. The shutter of the camera closes as Caine takes his first picture. I hear the shutter several times in a row. He's taking a bunch of pictures, one after another. Want to see? He asks, unable to hide his excitement. I get up from my spot and walk towards his tripod, staring at the little screen on his camera, showing the last picture he took of the sky. Wow, I didn't realize you could zoom in that far. I'm amazed at the detail the camera has captured. I'm using an ultra-wide-angle lens. They can capture a lot of the sky, Caine explains. Oh, that's why it looks so detailed. I mean, I'm just using a budget lens. Your friend Sarah is the one with the really expensive lenses. I noticed the one she was carrying around. I honestly have no idea. I wouldn't be able to tell how much anything costs, but regardless, those pictures turned out really good. Caine smiles at me, happy that I'm showing interest in his hobby. Want to see something cool? Sure. Caine goes back to fiddling around with his camera setting, then presses down the shutter button. I can hear the camera boring for a few seconds before the shutter finally closes. I just took a long exposure picture of the stars, which means Caine shows the last picture he took. The stars have turned into streaks across the sky. Oh wow, that's neat. They look like shooting stars. For a while, Caine remains quiet as I study the picture. The sound of the ocean has a relaxing effect on me. I feel so at ease with Caine out here on the beach. Do you think... Caine starts out in a quiet voice. I straighten my back to look at him. Do you think I could take a picture of you? Of course. I'm surprised he'd ask. Seeing the expression on my face, Caine immediately shakes his head at me. I mean, you wouldn't be able to see your face or anything really, just your silhouette. No one would be able to tell it's you. I think it'd look cool against the Milky Way backdrop. He rattles off in a rushed voice. Slow down, it's okay, I reassure him. You can take one. Caine looks relieved. Why don't we take one together? I think we could look rather romantic, he suggests. Surprised to call it romantic. My heart ends up beating faster. The thought of taking a romantic picture with Caine is definitely messing with my hormones. Caine looks down at the sand, unable to meet my gaze. He stutters. Never mind, that sounds stupid. It's not stupid, I think it sounds romantic too. For a brief moment, Caine remains still. Awkwardly, he spins around and presses a few buttons on his camera in complete silence. Then he quickly walks towards the water. He beckons me to follow. I catch up to him, stand next to his side. It's on a timer, 6 seconds left, he explains. What do you want me to do? I ask, a little unsure. Nothing, just be you. Me? What do you mean? Caine reaches for my arm and pulls me in closer. Here, stand close to me. The camera snaps the picture. Caine doesn't even bother answering me as he dashes towards the camera to look at the picture. I start walking in his direction as well. He says in surprise. I look over his shoulder to see the picture. There are two dark silhouettes against the starry sky. We're not in the center, so as we're not the focus of the picture, but it does look really nice. Because the camera took the picture as Caine was pulling me closer, it looks like he's got his arm around my waist. We look like a couple. It's a rather romantic picture, and I sort of really want it as a wallpaper on my phone. Not my usual style, but it turned out pretty good. Can I have that one, I ask? Caine raises his eyebrows, but then smiles at me. Sure, no problem. Gotta wait till I'm home with my laptop, though. I'm a little sad to think about going home at this moment. This entire day has been so much fun. I don't want it to end yet. Caine ends up spending a little more time getting the shots he wants, while I sit in the sand watching him work diligently. He's got a surprisingly large amount of passion behind his hobby. Watching the stars like this, I'm inspired too. That fashion show I was going to enter, I think I know what theme I want to make now. The stars have always been beautiful to me, but this time it has totally captured my imagination. And it's also because Caine's with me. It wouldn't be the same without him. Caine finally plops down into the sand with me. Then taking pictures, I ask. Yeah, I've got a ton. I'm satisfied. I lean back to look up at the sky. I can stay and stare at this for hours and not get bored. What a day it's been, I murmur softly. Caine also looks up. It feels much longer than usual. We stay quiet for a bit, lost in our own thoughts. Caine pulls his legs up to his chest, then takes a small breath. You asked me today, why I did judo, right? I nod my head at him, wondering why he's bringing this up. Caine leans his chin on top of his knees, staring at the gorgeous view in front of him. Bullies. Bullies, I repeat. Slowly he turns his face towards me, peering at me through his long eyelashes. He's got this vulnerable look on his face, as if he's afraid I'll judge him. Bullies. Ah, you thought that would help you deal with them. Yeah. Seeing the look on his face, however, it sounds like it didn't help out much. My heart aches for him. I know how it feels. I finally want to share some of my own memories. You know, I used to get bullied in middle school. Caine raises both his eyebrows at me. He looks genuinely surprised. Really? Why? Why indeed? I don't know. Sometimes I guess I was too pushy and bossy. Other times I was too timid and weak. I could never get it right. People would tell me I was too stuck up, and if I tried to be nice, they'd tell me to speak up more. I couldn't win. I flash him a sad smile. You're not the only one who with a bully past, you know. I didn't know. You seem so great at dealing with people. It wasn't like that from the start. It took a lot of courage and hard work to get my self-confidence back. And people are still saying I have issues, like unable to accept criticism and whatnot. Those couple of years were definitely lonely for sure. Caine looks right at me, his gaze then faltering. Yeah, lonely, he whispers softly. A peaceful moment stretches between us, with the ocean waves filling up the sands in the background. We're both staring at the twinkling stars in the night sky. I recall my own memories when I was younger and didn't have any friends. It was a painful period for me, but luckily that changed when I entered high school and I tried my best to make friends. But the memories of being an outcast will forever linger with you, which is why I empathize with Caine so much. Today Caine starts slowly. I direct my gaze upon him once more. Asking me to join today, just thanks. It was fun. A warm feeling spreads through my body, forcing me to break out into a smile. Yeah, I had fun too. I'm glad I asked you to come. Caine finally lifts his chin up from his leg, staring at me. Why did you invite me? Because I like being with you? Caine immediately ducks his head away from me, an incredulous expression on his face. I could tell he's bright red, trying to cover it up. What? How can you say it like that? He demands to know. Say it like what? Whenever you say shit like that, I can't tell if you're being serious or not. You're so hard to read, Caine sighs loudly. You confuse me. I'm not trying to confuse you, I'm being honest. Is that such a foreign concept for you? Yes, he immediately replies. Even that weird thing you did where you went back to pay for the ice cream when you could have easily gotten away with it. I didn't even realize people like you existed. Jeez, way to make me sound like some rare specimen, I say while pouting. How do you do it, he asks. To what? How do you stay so nice to people even though they aren't in return? I close my mouth, mulling over my answer. Does he want to know about my moral compass? Why I returned to pay for the ice cream even though I could have scored some free stuff instead? I mean, you said it yourself. You got bullied too, so I don't get it. I don't get it. Caine looks down at the sand with a forlorn look. People treating me like crap doesn't give me the right to treat others the same way. It really isn't that hard, Caine. You just treat people the way you want to be treated, that's it. Honestly, yeah. That's how I roll with life. Yeah, there's some shitty people in this world. I've been bullied in the past, and even in the present, I still have to deal with them sometimes. But that's no excuse to do the same. Caine stays quiet, his eyebrows knitted together in a very defined frown. He's lost in his own thoughts. I can't do that, he mumbles. It's not like I'm a good enough person or anything. That's not true. I know deep down you're the same. Deep down, Caine doesn't believe a word I say. I mean, think about Chelsea. She's humiliated you and made your life miserable, no? Caine grits his teeth at me. Yeah, so? And yet you still helped her out. You could have chosen not to, but you did. I bumped my shoulder into Caine's, giving him a reassuring smile. See, you're a good person too. He turns his head very slightly towards me, flashing me a tiny bashful smile. He's like a little puppy and I kind of want to hug him. I think that has more to do with the fact that you were the one that asked me to help her out, he admits. I don't think I would have helped her if I were alone. He stares at me, a smile appearing. But you, on the other hand, you would. You're crazy. Then he chuckles, a sound that lifts up my heart as if I'm soaring through the night sky. Crazy and amazing. Aww! My cheeks feel like they're on fire as Caine compliments bounces around in my chest like a bunch of endorphins being released. I'm unable to keep eye contact with him, feeling really quite happy hearing that coming from Caine. Ichigo? I feel bad for dragging you into my mess. That time in Boon Mart, I mean. Pretending to be your girlfriend, you mean? Caine shakes his head. No, I mean... He looks at me, his eyes clear as the stars in the background, for randomly forcing a kiss on you. He then shyly turns away, rubbing the back of his neck. Ah, that part. You already apologized for that, I believe. I know, but Caine rests his chin on top of his knees again, letting out a deep sigh. That wasn't cool of me. Honestly, while I was annoyed at the time that he kissed me without consent, I am over that anger right now. It's okay, I reassure him. I forgive you. I would like a heads up next time. Well, my girl still wants kisses, so I'd like a heads up next time. Yeah, sure. Wait, what? Caine's eyes grow large. Next time. I shrug and smile at him. I'm not going to deny I want there to be a next time. Only this time around I want it to be mutual. What? He repeats in a flustered voice. Whoa, not right now. I mean, if you want, but I didn't expect one right now. My hand sinks onto the sand as I lean towards Caine, closing the distance between us. I moved closer to him. Daringly, I tilt my head so that our faces are only inches apart. Caine can't help but stare at me like a deer caught in headlights. He's turning redder by the second, his face matching his hair. I said I would like a heads up next time. Ask me or something. Ask? Caine gulps. I nod my head. What if you say no? There's only one way to find out. Oh my god, my girl is so bold! I smile mischievously at him. Caine's mouth drops open, but no words come out. He seems rather shocked at my assertiveness, but I'm not backing down. My girl is way too bold for her own good. Cause I was just, JK, just playing around. We're getting closer. I move just the tiniest bit closer. Our nose is almost touching. I can feel his breath on my face. I can count the freckles on his cheeks. He looks so frightened and embarrassed. I love seeing the side of him. Oh, you're so cute. Can I? He stutters. Can you what? I tease him. Then suddenly his eyes glaze over, as if he's suddenly not afraid anymore. He tilts his head to the side, leaning in closer, his lips only barely touching mine. Oh my god. Can I kiss you? He asks in this husky voice. Oh god. Oh god, yes. Oh, this is so cute. This is so cute, bro. I answer his question by closing my eyes and finally pressing my lips against his. Caine immediately responds to my touch, pushing back like he's been He's been hiding his inner feelings all this time, and right now they're out in the open. He breaks apart just long enough to take in a large breath before he hungrily snatches my lips again, unable to leave them alone for too long. The sound of the ocean waves drowns into the background as my mind starts spinning. Caine's lips feel so warm and nice against mine. It's like he's breathing life into me. My heartbeat can't stop speeding up. I've been lying awake in bed at night thinking about this moment. Now that it's here, I don't want it to stop. I grab the front of Caine's shirt, keeping him close to me. Our lips pull away and then they're back together as if they're magnetic. Each kiss is like a shock, so electrifying, so freeing. My hand creeps up my back until Caine buries it into my hair, cupping my head. He pushes me closer, clumsily trying to press every inch of our lips together. He's shaking. I can feel his entire body quake with nerves and excitement, but I'm the same way. Every movement, every touch is driving me crazy. Then Caine stops, leaving my lips alone. Are we like dating, or are we just kissing, haha, hee hee fun? Because I'm not down for that haha hee hee fun. I want something serious here, sir. He flutters his eyes open, watching me with a glimmer in his eyes. Not moving away from his position, he rests his forehead against mine, and we both take in a deep breath. Caine licks his own lips, an act that seems so extremely sexy to me right now. Slowly he raises his other hand and softly presses his thumb against my bottom lip. His cyan eyes are focused on my mouth. He's quivering all over, as if he's afraid this can all go wrong. But he doesn't have control over his actions anymore, and neither do I. He brushes over my lips and gently tugs it down so that my mouth parts open, and let out a breath that I've been holding. His thumb feels so warm. Oh, we're going at it again. Okay. Then he closes the gap between us again, his mouth on mine once more. Except this time he plunges into my open mouth with— Oh! Oh, okay. Okay. With his slick tongue, that silver tongue that has said so many things to me, is now slithering against mine, exploring. It's unrefined and surprisingly gentle. Caine's movements indicate he doesn't know what he's doing, but one thing is for sure. Caine isn't letting go until he's lapped up all of me with his tongue. I scared myself. I roll my tongue against his, causing a deep moan to emerge from Caine's throat. Oh god, I didn't know he could sound like that. Thank god we can't actually hear it. We're just hearing waves crashing. Slick and sorry if you guys hate this word, moist. Caine touches me in places that send shivers and shocks down my spine. This is so erotic. It's hard to keep my breath steady. But then his tongue slips out of my mouth, leaving behind a void I didn't know existed. I blink open my eyes at him, just in time to see Caine pushing his hand against my shoulder, urging me to lie down in the sand. Whoa, what are we doing? Ayo! Ayo! He climbs on top of me and catches my lips with a loud grunt. I wrap my arms around the back of his neck, locking him in place. I love the feeling of him on top of me, okay. The warmth of his body feels like a protective blanket. Caine holds the side of my face with his hands, lustfully nibbling on my lips. Caine sucks so hard on them that I feel my blood rushing towards the surface. His tongue licks the bottom with a heavy breath, begging me for entrance. Who am I to deny it? Okay. I didn't think things would lead this far, to be honest, from my JK joke. Shouldn't be joking anymore, I guess. He steals my breath away as we exchange strokes with our tongues. I'm locked with him in this endless kiss, making everything I feel for Caine even more heightened. Then he retreats, hovering over my body as he stares at me with his wanton expression. I've never seen that look on his face, but I decide in this moment it's my favorite one so far. The ocean suddenly grows louder until I realize a wave washes over my arm, pulling me back into reality and breaking the spell Caine has cast on me. I shriek and quickly get up, fleeing Caine off of me, escaping the small wave of water. My arm got wet. Caine sits in the sand a little dazed. He sees the water dripping from my hand, then we exchange a look. I crack a grin at him. He grins back. His delighted expression makes my heart flutter wildly. I extend a hand to Caine. Come Come on, we should probably head back now. Ah! Caine sets my hand, but instead of getting up, he pulls me down. I tumbled forwards and crash into his chest, cradled in his lap. Flustered, I look up at him. What? Aww, another kiss! Can I have a forehead one though? Like, Caine cuts off my words with his mouth giving me a tender kiss. It's short and chaste. What is this word? I don't know how to pronounce. Compared to what we were doing before, but it doesn't stop my heart from beating 1,000 miles a minute. He leans back, gazing at me, taking all of me in with those cyan eyes of his. Yeah, let's. He breathes out softly. What are we? What are we? What was all that? Can we confess? Is it the time to, like... Finally make our way back to the cabin. It's dark and quiet inside, so I turn on the light. Caine places down his camera equipment at the front door. He stops in his track when he notices an open door to my room. He draws out. I follow the direction of his gaze to stare at my room. It's empty. Sarah isn't in it. Where's Sarah? Both of us look at the other room. The door is closed and there's a sock on the handle. I did not know what the fuck that meant. I didn't know what the sock on the handle meant until like maybe recently, maybe like 2 years ago. So if you guys don't know, let me fill you in. If there's a sock on the handle, they're booming. No disturbing, okay? The cogs in my mind started turning. Sarah's in there with Kevin. Gross, Caine exclaims loudly. Doesn't he see the issue here? If Sarah is in Caine's room, that means Caine can't sleep in that room, and he has to sleep in my room. I mean, we did just make out on the beach, and I'm still riding that wave of endorphins, but this is making things a little too exciting. Caine rose the back of his neck, looking down at the floor. I guess I can't go in there. You could sleep with me, even though he'll probably take the couch. But, we need to finalize our feelings here. You can sleep with me, I offer. Caine halts all movements, standing completely still. Then he turns bright red. What? Oh, come on, I don't bite, probably. But you and me in the same bed? He asked incredulously. You didn't seem to mind very much when you had me pinned down into the sand. Caine clenches his mouth shut and turns away from me. He starts but immediately shuts up again. Different, he grumbles. You're welcome to sleep on that dingy couch instead, you know. No thanks. Alright, then we share a bed, I smirk at him. You really don't take no for an answer, do you? He quips. Nope. I walk towards my room with a spring in my step. The night is just beginning. Coming? I call back for him. Fine. He saunters in after me. Man, this bed is very lonely. This room is just bed. That's it. Nothing more. You don't need anything more. Just bed. I can hear my heart pound in anticipation when I enter the small room. The double bed stares back at me. I was supposed to be sharing with my best friend, Sarah. Instead, I'll be sharing it with Caine, whom I have become very acquainted with in the past hour. Not quickly. Okay, I should probably not let my thoughts go haywire. It doesn't need to turn into anything. We're just sleeping. Probably. I reach for my bag that's next to the bed and pull out my nightgown. I hold it close against my body, then my eyes lock onto Caine, who's awkwardly standing near the door. Can you, turn around? I ask. Caine sees the nightgown on my hand, then he quickly whirls around. I'll just go brush my teeth, he mumbles. He hastily exits the room. Now that I've got some privacy, I dress into my nightgown. It's pretty thin and very short. If I bend over just a little bit, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to see my butt. I was expecting to sleep with Sarah, so I didn't really think about appropriate sleepwear. Now that there's a guy in the mix, it feels really intimate. I'll pull it down a little, silently cursing it for being so short. This is making me really nervous. Caine enters the room again, loudly clearing his throat. Then I catch him looking at me, his gaze going from head to toe, and I suddenly feel way more naked than I really am. I hold in my breath as I feel like he's silently undressing me with his eyes. With rosy cheeks, Caine looks away. Hey, don't just blush after blatantly checking me out. Bathroom's free, he grumbles. Not wanting to stay there a second longer with my very short nightgown, I hop out of the bedroom to flee towards the bathroom. We're just sharing a bed. I don't need to get to act so on edge. But we kiss too. This has been such a roller coaster of emotions today. Honestly, you're telling me? Bruh, what's gonna be happening? I feel like nothing's gonna happen actually. I think they're actually just going to sleep. I think they've had their fun for the night, you know? Unless they're not. That's crazy. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.